Today I'm going to talk about the strategy of foundation. And the strategy of foundation is important because it turns out that certain habits need priority. Certain habits are more important to get into place, to set a foundation as you move forward to get other habits. Now, the ideal with a habit is that it happens automatically. It's like brushing your teeth. There's no decision making. You just do it without thought. You just get up and go to the gym. That's the ideal. But many habits never really become a hard habit like that. And some habit, you're constantly sort of having to juggle and to decide. Maybe you can't always just go to the gym first thing in the morning, but you sort of have to work it into your day. So it never becomes wholly automatic. So you have to use a little bit of self-command in order to figure out how to follow that habit. And when you have to use self-command, that means that you have to draw on your inner resources. It's hard to use self-command. It's draining. And the reason that the foundation habits are important is these are the habits that help to keep us from becoming so physically taxed or so mentally frazzled that we can't use our self-command. When you're exhausted, when you're overwhelmed, you can't ask anything of yourself, and that's when you start eating ice cream out of the container at midnight. So the more wherewithal you have, the stronger your foundation, the more able you are going to be to follow other habits. Now, of course, it's ironic, because a lot of times the habits that are the foundation habits are the very habits that people are trying to follow. So you're like, yeah, sleep is a foundation habit, and if I had more sleep, I'd be able to get to bed on time, but my problem is that I'm not getting enough sleep. So there's this kind of a circularity. But here are the foundation habits that are really worth thinking about working on with a special emphasis. Sleep, move, eat and drink right, and unclutter. So you really want to figure out how to get at least 7 hours of sleep a night if you're one of the most adults who needs that. Move. Even 20 minutes of walk a day is going to make a big difference. A huge percentage of Americans are wholly sedentary. If you get a little bit more movement into your day, you're going to get a big benefit. It's real, and exercise energizes you. It doesn't deplete energy. It tends to give you more energy. Eat and drink right. This means not letting yourself get too hungry and recognizing that if you drink alcohol, it's going to bring down your self-control. I mean, that's part of what people enjoy about alcohol, is it lowers your inhibitions. So eat and drink right. And finally, unclutter, which is perhaps a little surprising. But I found that for most people, outer order contributes to inner self-command. And for a lot of people, being in a place where things are put away, everything's in its place, helps them have more self-command. I remember when I was in law school, I happened to visit the house of two friends in one day. And in one, everything in the kitchen was like neatly put away, and he went over and got me like cheese and crackers and from these very nicely put away packages, and everything was very orderly. And in the other house, there was like bags of chips and cookies just open on the counter. People were just wandering in and out and helping themselves. And I thought, man, if I lived here, I'd eat a whole box of cookies in a day and never even notice, because there was something about just the clutter of it. Just, it made you feel less in self-command, less aware of your habits. So when you're thinking about the habits to choose, focus with particular emphasis on those four foundational habits, because they're the ones, they're important on their own, and they're also very important in helping to set the foundation for other habits as well.